Okay guys, so this isn't my normal type of unRAID video. This week I thought I'd do a bit of a strange, random, yet fun project. I wanted to make a KVM VM for Windows 95 and Windows 98. Now I have done this before using VNC graphics and other emulated hardware, but there were issues that I just wasn't happy with. So I thought, why not make a 95 and 98 Windows VM but pass through all native hardware from the late 90s and really try and make a truly authentic VM. So let's give it a try. Well, I love retro systems, having started out with an Atari 800 XL as my first ever computer. But in my first IT job, we used both Windows 95 and 98. And that's what I had at home too. I think my boss finally upgraded us to XP in about 2005, 4 years after its release, as he said he didn't trust Windows XP to be stable. Now I don't know if he had a magic version of 98 on his PC, but one of my biggest memories of 98 is blue screens and restarts. Anyway, I thought it'd be fun to make this video for all of us who had a PC back during the 1990s. And the good thing is that Windows 95 and 98 are now abandonware, so we don't need to worry about giving Microsoft any money. We can easily download and use these systems. And I'm going to install Windows 98 first, and that's because it's a lot easier to install than Windows 95, so we'll do the easiest one first. And while we're looking at the Windows 98 advert, I'll show you which hardware I bought to make this all possible. First I needed a PCI Express to PCI adapter, and I bought this one with 2 slots for £14. And this card will allow me to pass through a graphics card and a sound card through to my Windows 9X VM. For graphics I ordered an old PCI card, a Daytona 64E, which is based on the Cirrus Logic GD5446, the same chipset which can be emulated by qemu, so I thought this a good choice. Well, that and the fact that this was only £12.99. And finally the sound card I bought was a Creative Audio CT5807 PCI card, which I picked up for only £6. So for all the hardware I needed for this project, it cost me under £35 in total. So, to make things as easy as possible, I've made a vdisk of 98 with all the necessary drivers in it. This will run on VNC as well as pass-through hardware, so I'll talk you through setting up this vdisk for getting your Windows 98 up and running. Now unfortunately for Windows 95 we're not so lucky. This unfortunately won't run on VNC graphics, so it needs pass-through hardware to work and a few other tricks as well. So we'll install that second for you die-hard 95 fans. I'd just like to show you this website here, WinWorld. It's a really good resource. If you wanted to actually download Windows 98 yourself and install it, you can download the second edition version here. There's serial keys on the right hand side here, and there's the full English OEM version here. Also you can see there's applications here that you can download and run on your virtual machines, and also there's some games here. Okay, so download the Windows 98 image from the link in the description of this video and unzip it and put it on the desktop. Then you're going to want to copy the file and put it onto the share where you keep your virtual images. And I'm going to put mine in my Windows share here, and I'm going to create a folder and just call it 98. And I'm just going to paste the file into here. Okay, and so with the vdisk copied across, let's set up our template, and we'll base it off a Windows XP template. Make sure you have the view set on to advanced view, and I'm going to give mine a Windows 98 icon. If you don't have these extra icons, then please see my video about how to install those. And I'm going to call mine 01 Win98 and just give it one logical CPU and 1 gig of RAM's fine. Make sure that it's CBIOS and turn the Hyper-V to no. We don't need to put an install ISO, but I'm going to attach mine anyway. It may be useful later on. We don't need any VirtIO drivers, so I'm just going to remove that out. And for the primary vdisk location, we just need to browse to where we copied the vdisk across to. And for me that's in Virtual Systems, Windows and 98, and there you can see the Win98 QCal2 file. So just select that, and this is important, select the primary vdisk to be IDE, because we had IDE buses back in 1998. And the graphics card, I'm going to leave it on VNC because we can actually get it to work with VNC, so I'm going to show you guys how to do that for those of you who don't have any native hardware to pass through. And I'm going to pass through my USB keyboard because Windows 98 2nd edition does have USB support. And I'm going to untick Start VM after creation and click on Create. Okay, so there's one thing we need to edit in the XML. We want to get internet working, so we need to edit our network adapter. If you scroll down here, this part of the XML is the network adapter, and at the moment the model type's set for VirtIO. This won't work in Windows 98, so we need to use an emulated one, so just type in here RTL8139 and click Update. Okay, so that's your template all set up ready. So now let's start up the VM and open the VNC remote. And as you can see, it starts to load and it looks like everything's going to be fine, but it will just freeze in a moment. There we go, it's frozen. So when it does this, just close the VNC window and force stop the VM and then restart it. Quickly open up VNC again and you'll come to this screen here, and don't start on safe mode, but start on step-by-step confirmation. And for some reason, if we go through this and click yes to everything, it will actually start. And this is the only way I've found that we can actually make it work using VNC graphics. Okay, and here we are booted up into Windows 98. Let's make the screen a bit bigger. Okay, now I'm actually using my USB keyboard, and let's open up a browser. And it's a little bit slow, but we should have some internet. And there we are on the WinWorld page. And there we are, it's all working fine. Okay, so that's Windows 98 working fine on VNC. So let's shut this down now. And now if you just go across and look at the hardware I've got. Now if I scroll down, you'll see my IO-MMU group 31, this one here. This has my PCI Cirrus Logic card here in one slot, and here's my Creative Labs sound card here in the other slot. And I can pass both these through at once because they're all in the same IO-MMU group. So I'll just pass these both through as a pair, and I don't need to worry about this PCI bridge here. So let's go back to the Windows 98 template, and I'm going to click Edit. And now I'm going to go down to the graphics card and I'll select the Cirrus Logic card here. But if you look, my sound card, it isn't actually noticed by unRAID as being a sound card. So I'm going to have to manually edit that and put that in. So I'm just going to click on to Update. So let's just go back across and look at the system devices again. And here's the number of the multimedia audio controller here. So let's bring up Notepad and just put that in here so I don't forget it. And now let's edit the XML. You can see this host dev here. This is my graphics card. You can see it's 0540. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to copy this here. And I'm going to paste it underneath, just so I don't have to type all of that out again. But I'm going to get rid of this part here, the XVGA equals yes, because it isn't a graphics card, so I'm not going to need that part. And also I'm going to get rid of the address line here, as that will be put in automatically by unRAID in a moment. And let's bring back Notepad, and we can see the number here is 0505.0. So all I'm going to have to change is 05, and we just need to change this here to 05 as well. So that's the XML edited. So now if I click onto Update, and if I go back in and look at the template, now at the bottom we can see that the sound card is actually added. So let's click Update again. But I'm also going to have to just change the network back to RTL8139 and click on to Update. Okay, so now this is ready to start up. Unfortunately, I'm having to just film the monitor as I've got no way of actually filming the VGA going into it. Okay, so that's the first thing I'm going to do is just open up a web page. I've got YouTube and the Star Wars trailer booked as my home page. So we'll just see how that plays.
It's so much bigger.
Okay, and I think considering this is playing on Windows 98, it's not bad at all. I did try putting it in full screen, but it's a bit glitchy and it did actually crash once or twice. But if you don't have it in full screen, it's not bad at all. You know, you've got to remember this is a 20-year-old operating system.
It's time for the Jedi to end.
And so why not try playing a game? Let's load up Quake. Okay, and again you have to excuse the quality of the picture. It does actually look a lot better than this in real life. Getting a bit of light glare on the screen. Okay, let's quit this. Anyway, I think overall it's pretty good. For under £35, I've got a cross between a virtual machine and a native Windows machine. Anyway, stay tuned for the second part of the video where we'll try installing Windows 95. I hope you liked this video and you found it useful. If you did, then please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for a new video every week. If you like what I do, then every donation is appreciated, which you can do through the link in the top right. So guys, whatever you're up to for the rest of the day, I hope it's good and I'll catch you all in that next video.